About to go live, got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talking about, got soldiers riding with me. And they know I'm lethal, I got my reach. Said I was gonna get it. They gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Can't stop, I came now. Hold on, let me get the breakdown. Train to go like a K now. I'm about to let my light shine. We piped up till the pipe down. These niggas selling pipe dreams. Baby girl, you sweet as ice cream, and I need, you better believe. Sit back, look at my cheeks. Why you had to check my demeanor? Competition ain't free. I'm about to take them to the clean. They gon' get stars to press. Please not start no mess. These niggas petty, and I'm not impressed. I have them holding his chest, like he having heart attacks. Told you I'm hard to death. I know that they see it, but they don't believe. Look at them so mislead. 144, mission complete. We undefeated, you better believe. Fuck being equal, I'm being equal. Drop a line note, like a biomotor. Prepare for the fallout. One way solid, what you talking about? Me and my nigga about to ball out. These little nigga better bow out. Tell them rank up, tell them fall out. I'm on my job, I can't call out. I'm in the wind, I want it all now. Don't give a damn about the track record, little nigga, you about to lose today. Look, I got moves to make. You can even move, you can get moved away. Choose your fate. Most of these fools, they fake. Ain't got a card to play. Nigga, they ain't hard to break. They don't get dogs today, like the rest of Shauna told the hard way. Nigga, wait out of your league, please believe. About to go live, got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talking about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal, I got my reasons. I'm gonna get it, yeah. Know they gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Like that. Sick with it, now you know that. Fuck the world, I can't go back. Ain't no coward, I don't know that. Bitch, I'd rather take a toe tag. Run it up, you know I'm good to go. Work my ball, you know I'm good as gold. They want smoke, got revenge naked in my bedroom doing the Tootsie Roll. Big dog niggas, I'm trying. It's my time. You way out of line, way out of bounds. Oh, you ain't noticed the line. That on my flow is a blind. I know it's gon' be stressed. I know it's gon' be pressure. Gotta stay focused. It's a cruel world, baby girl. I should be a soldier. You should be my loaded. It feel like something controlling me. Spirit take over me, holding me high. Believe me, it's over. Look over my shoulder and I see my soldiers and they ain't no play. Keep spitting the fake. He real, but I'm real. Fucking leader, I don't feel him. Fucking God, I don't feel him. Cut his eye, I'm about to kill him. Wait, hold up, let me catch the rhythm. Okay, I got it, I'm ready. He cross that line, he gon' regret it. No high rock, I rock it steady. Hope he keep it going steady. You better believe me. Certified, one West solid, it ain't hard to tell. Can't lie, this hard as hell. These people racist, nigga, better watch yourself. I'm getting this smell. Chasing them blue faces like I'm Gargamel. And I work too hard to fail. Lock with me, gotta guard yourself. You know why I keep it, they try to come get me, I'm squeezing, you better believe. I could go live, got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talking about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal, I got my reasons. I'm gonna get it, yeah. Know they gonna see, but they ain't gonna believe. Like that.
All right, let's clap it up, man. Let's clap it up, man. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General YAHANNA, man. Today is Tuesday Brotherhood class, man. When we come and we get into the scriptures to show where true brotherhood comes from. As we can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about the Watchman. And understand this, man, a watchman has a specific job, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get into Ezekiel 33 and start at verse 1. Let me know once you have it. 33, Ezekiel 33 and 1.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, and the people of the lake take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman.
Understand this. Let's stop right there, man. Let's get an understanding on what a watchman is. Does anybody know what a watchman is that's in the class right now? Go ahead. Somebody that's like a lookout. Anybody else? Does anybody know the importance of a watchman? Go ahead, bro.
So watching over their brothers, the sisters, the whole nation, basically.
Get that brother a hand, man. Get that brother a hand, man. The watchman's job is to warn the people and to make sure that the people know when something is coming. Okay? The watchman's job is he watches everything that goes on. So if there's an enemy that's attacking, the watchman's job is to see the enemy coming from a mile away and then blow the horn for protection, to let everybody know it's time for them to gird their loins. It's time for them to go ahead and make whatever provisions you need to make to board up your windows or save your people. That's a watchman's job, man. It's a very important job. But see, nowadays, you know, the watchman's job now is to warn his people of the things that they don't understand and they don't know. So you could take the watchman's job, they'll see an enemy coming from a mile away, and you can put it back in today's terms. A watchman's job nowadays is to warn the people of their sins and their mistakes. So our watchmen nowadays that society wants to put over, you have your Christian pastors. That's the watchmen that the oppressor has put over us. You have, you know, the councilmen, you have the religious leaders, you have everybody that, you know, the people that have the most money. Those are the watchmen right now. Those are the people that's put in position to supposedly warn the people. But we're going to get into it and we're going to see who are actually the real watchmen right now. So keep reading, brother.
Verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Verse 4. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood should be upon his own head.
Understand this, man. Right here in the Bible is letting you know, man, if a watchman sees that a sword is coming, that judgment is coming, his job is to blow the horn. His job is to warn you ahead of time that, hey, judgment is coming if you keep doing this, or judgment is coming and y'all not ready for it. And if somebody don't heed to the warning, then the blood is not on the watchman's hands, it's on that person's hands, because the watchman did his job. Keep reading.
Verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul.
See, if you are a person that can hear a watchman and you hear the trumpet blowing and you hear the horn blowing, that judgment is coming, and you decide not to listen to what the watchman is telling you, then the bloodshed that comes is on your hands. But if you do heed to the warning that the watchman is giving you, then you shall be delivered. You should be safe. Keep reading.
Verse 6. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity.
Understand this. A watchman, if he sees that something is coming and he decides not to blow the horn, then the bloodshed is on him. Right. Now, let me go ahead and take time. I'm going to slow it down and take time to go ahead and break this down. When we're talking about the watchman right now, we're talking about somebody that's supposed to be a warner, somebody that's supposed to warn their people. Right. See, here in the I.S.U.P.K, we are the true and real watchmen. Your religious leaders are not your watchmen. The pastors are not your watchmen. These people that are in high places with all the money are not your true watchmen, because they do not blow the horn when judgment is coming. Now, let me just break some of this down for you. The judgment that I'm talking about is, if you are a true watchman, you will tell your people that it is wrong for them to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster.
That's right.
If you are a true watchman, you will tell your people that it is wrong for them to be homosexual. Right. It is wrong for them to be lesbian. It is wrong for them to be a part of the LBGTQQRPPSTT. It is wrong. So right then and there, let me just go ahead and break this down for you. The reason why I can say that your Christian pastors and your religious leaders are not the true watchmen is because they know in the Bible it says that homosexuality is wrong. They also know in the Bible that it says it's wrong to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. They know for a fact it's wrong for them to abuse drugs and use drugs for their, like I said, abusing the drugs that are given to you for natural causes. Right. They know for a fact all these things are wrong, but yet they allow all these things in their church. They know for a fact it is wrong for you to be an adulterer, but yet they allow that in their church. They know it's wrong for you to be raping your own children. They know it's wrong for them to have the deacon board or some of the other pastors molesting these little boys in their churches. But they don't speak out against none of those things. So how can you be a true watchman when you're not blowing a horn or blowing a trumpet on these things that's happening right in your face? Understand this. You are one of those people that the iniquity and the blood is on your hands. Right. All these things that you are letting go, because right now everybody is trusting you to lead them. They are trusting all these religious leaders to lead them. And the religious leaders don't lead them. They don't care. They're not worried about what you got going on. They're worried about fattening their pockets. They're worrying about making sure that at the end of the day, they get what they need. They're not blowing the trumpet. They're not warning you that, hey, if you are a homosexual, man, you know that's abomination unto the Lord. So is eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. So is sitting here messing with a young child. And all these things that you're doing right now, if you're going to continue doing that, you need to get out of my church because you are an abomination. Right. You are wrong. You are somebody that I cannot deal with. Right. That's what a real watchman would do. That's what a real leader would do. But you're asking too much of these religious leaders right now because they are not true watchmen. They don't love their people like the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K, how we love our people. Right. See, we are the true watchmen. We just read about what would happen to a watchman if he sees something happening and he doesn't say anything. The blood is on his hands. Here in the I.S.U.P.K, we are taught to never let the blood be on our hand. We are taught to do the things that are uncomfortable for most people. We're going to speak up. We're going to let it be known that, you know what? You ain't supposed to do this. The same way we check our brothers on making sure that they're not doing something is the same way we check ourselves. We got to make sure that we're right so that way we can check our brothers for when they're not right. That's what a true watchman does. He is a leader. Because if you're not a leader, why would they appoint you to be a watchman over them? Only real leaders can be watchmen. And see, y'all don't understand this. The oppressor has appointed these religious leaders, these councilmen, these pastors, all these so-called black leaders in the community that gathers everybody together. The oppressor has appointed them over us and made them watchmen because really and truthfully, they're watching out for the oppressor. They're fattening their pockets based off of what the oppressor wants. But let's keep on reading, man. Let's keep going.
Come. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman into the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them for me.
Understand this, man. The true watchmen are going to warn the people. He has set watchmen over the house of Israel. Understand this. The house of Israel's true watchmen are the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K. And if you don't understand this, the house of Israel, you're the 12 tribes of Israel, the nation of Israel, understand this. It's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If you want to know who your true watchmen are, if you want to know the people that answer the hard questions, if you want to know who you can run to when you don't have nothing else, come to the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA, man. That's where you will have the watchman that looks over you. And that is going to warn you when judgment is coming. Because they're going to teach you ahead of time to not do the things that the oppressor has told you it's okay to do. Go ahead, brother.
Because what you're saying is heavy. It says that he's going to put a watchman over there. You know what I'm saying? It says watchman. It don't say watchmen. So that means all these fake Israelite groups that's out here claiming to or portraying to be watchmen are not the true watchmen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the scripture says one body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we are and claim to be the home of the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All these other figs, you know what I'm saying, have branched off of us. So they are not the watchmen. And like the other one has been saying, you know what I'm saying, we are the watchmen. And the second point I wanted to make also, you know what I'm saying, like from what you was reading from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, this is pretty much what Moses did when he warned the people about putting the blood over the mantle. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't put the blood over the mantle, you know what I'm saying, your son was killed. Your firstborn was killed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what you bringing out is heavy, sir. That's all I had to say, sir.
Man, y'all get that brother a hand because he's right on. He's right on point. Like, you got to be able to decipher who is a true watchman and who is a wolf in sheep's clothing. You got to decipher that. You got to be able to. But see, the way that you'll decipher that is you have to first know who is doing stuff to make you feel good. Because the people that does stuff to make you feel good, they can't be watching over your soul correctly. Because let me just be honest with you. Correction don't feel good all the time, man. It don't. Because correction is kind of like a checking. If for those that's been checked before, you understand what I mean when I say correction is like a checking. It don't feel good. It don't feel nice because all your life you've been taught it's okay to smoke weed. All your life you've been taught it's okay to sit here and have sex with a bunch of whores and throw them away. All your life you was told it's okay to eat pork chops, pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Go get them crab legs. Go get that crawfish boil. Go do your thing. All your life you was told it's okay for you to go steal. It's okay for you to kill somebody. It's okay for you to do whatever you feel like doing because you only got one life to live. YOLO. All your life, that's how you've been taught. But see here, we teach you according to what the scriptures say. We don't just lean to our own understanding. We go off of these scriptures. And that is the biggest checking of your life. To see that everything that you was taught, everything that's in your mind was BS. Everything that your Christian pastors have taught you, it was BS down to the point of who you were really serving. Because your Christian pastors is teaching you to serve a white Jesus. Because that's the only thing you see in the Christian church. They have taught you that it's okay for you to do whatever you feel like because the laws are done away with, and the only thing that you're under is grace and mercy. But then when you don't want to pay that tithe money, then they tell you, faith without works is dead. If you don't pay that 10%, then you ain't putting in no works for the Lord. But yet, you're not putting in works for the Lord right now, no way, because you're still sitting here doing everything that he says not to do. Because your watchmen are telling you that it's okay. And your watchmen that y'all appointed, the oppressor has appointed over you. They have told you it's okay for you to abuse drugs. It's okay for you to sit here and eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Have sex with different women and throw them away and not worry about taking care of your responsibilities as a man. So they are not blowing the trumpet, man. And understand this, the Most High has appointed someone over the house of Israel. He has appointed a watchman over the house of Israel. And right now that watchman is the commanding general YAHANNA. And the commanding general YAHANNA has groomed men under him to help him be the watchman over the house of Israel, man. And that's true brotherhood right there. To be a watchman, that means you have to first be a leader. And to be a leader, that means that you have to sacrifice yourself to be selfless for your people. So this is the brotherhood. This is Tuesday brotherhood class. Everything that we're going to go over tonight is true brotherhood. So, brother, keep reading.
Verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way.
Say that again.
Come. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way.
For your Christian pastors.
From his wicked way.
From the beginning.
Come. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way.
Understand this, pastors. Understand this, black leaders, religious leaders. If you don't warn the people, understand this. You will have to deal with the Lord. Right. And the Most High is going to deal with you because you are not warning the people. You are not doing what you're supposed to do. And because you're not doing what you're supposed to do, when the Most High comes back, when Christ comes back, he is going to deal with you because you are wicked. You are hurting us. You are not helping us. You are making it harder for the real priests and prophets to do their job because you are sitting here leading everybody astray when you need to allow the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K to come teach at your churches. Because everybody needs to hear this truth. Everybody needs to hear what you're afraid to say because you're cowards. You are afraid to say that homosexuality is wrong. You are afraid to sit here and tell your people, if you are sitting here abusing drugs, selling drugs in your community, you are wrong. If you are sitting here doing all these things against what the Most High God has told you to do, you are the problem. But you're not going to say that because you're the problem. Christian church, you're the problem. Your pastors, you're the problem. The religious leaders, you're the problem. Your councilmen that's so high and mighty to gather all of us together, y'all are the problem. Why can we gather ourselves together for the LGBTQ community, but we can't gather ourselves together to sit here and do what the Lord told you to do? Right. Why can we sit here and gather ourselves together for gay people to have rights, but we can't sit here and gather ourselves together for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to have rights, for us to be counted as people, for us to do what the Lord told us to do, for us to be real, true children of the Most High God, for us to do something different for once? We done sat here and did everything that the oppressor wanted us to do from start to finish. And the oppressor has showed you time after 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 time that he does not like you. And he'll never respect you. You'll never be as high as he. You'll never get anything that he has. You won't be nothing to him. But why do our religious leaders keep trying to make us be hand in hand with them? The Chinese man has more rights than us. Why do our religious leaders keep wanting us to be hand in hand with them? What are their true intentions? Now, let me tell you something. The real watchmen, the real people, the real leaders here in the I.S.U.P.K, we're telling you to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, and stop trying to be hand in hand with all these other nations that don't care about you. Because While you're sitting here trying to be hand in hand, they're sitting here, they got a knife just like this. They got a knife just like this. They're going to shake your hand with the right hand, and with this left hand, they're going to stab you dead in your back. Because they are not your friends. Right. They do not care. And they are the wicked. And they have chosen their own people. They have chosen their people that they've utterly destroyed already to be their so-called appointed watchmen over y'all. When the Lord chose someone to be an appointed watchman over you, but you fight the Lord's appointed watchman, but you love the white man's, Salakia, the oppressor's appointed watchman. You love them. Keep reading. Read it from the beginning again, because it don't make sense that we love the appointed watchman of the oppressor, but we hate the appointed watchman of the Most High God. But yet all Christians say that they're Christ-like. All Christians say that they trying to, they leaning and depending on Christ. But yet you can't even lean and depend on him enough to follow what he's telling you to do. But understand this, even though you're sitting here listening to these pastors understand this. This is what's coming for you, the religious leaders, the councilmen, and everybody else in high authority and high, the hierarchy that are sitting here leading the people astray. These things are for you. Go ahead and read that again.
Come. Verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die if thou dost not.
Y'all shall surely die for what y'all are doing. This is just the words in the Bible. The Bible that y'all have at y'all's churches is letting you know, you wicked men, that you shall surely die for leading your people astray, because you don't have brotherhood. You don't truly love your people. And that's why you shall surely die. Keep reading.
Come. If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way.
If you don't sit here and tell your people the truth and stop being afraid of these oppressors and stop being afraid of these people that can sit here and shun you. That's what y'all afraid of, brother. What you just said was so real. Y'all are so afraid of that cancel culture. Y'all are so afraid to get canceled that y'all sit here and bend over backwards and let someone shove something up your behind because you are afraid to say something that needs to be said. I know plenty pastors that are sitting here allowing grown men that have the same equipment that you got to sit here and be up in your church with a dress on, looking they Sunday's homosexual best. And they got the same equipment that you walking around in. They trying to go into the women's restroom and stand up in the stall. They looking for a stall to stand up in. But y'all are allowing that in y'all's church because y'all don't have brotherhood. Y'all don't care about y'all's people because you are allowing this to happen. You see a stud and you just allowing her to munch on carpet, to do the things that she's not supposed to do. She's not supposed to sit here and munch on carpet. She's supposed to be a feminine person. She's supposed to enjoy her femininity. But she can't enjoy it because society has told her it's okay for her to be butch. It's okay for her to try to be a man. And you leaders are allowing these things to happen because you are afraid. You are so scared to sit here and tell the truth. Let me tell you something. You need to be what the Most High God made you to be. If you got the equipment of a man, you are supposed to be a man. If you have the equipment of a woman, you are supposed to be a woman. Newsflash, grow up, understand that that's who you are. You can't sit here and say, I was born. You have the equipment of a man and you're going to sit here and say, I was born to be a woman. No, Because if you was born to be a woman, you would have the equipment of a woman. You would have a box instead of a rod. And if you were a woman, you are supposed to be a woman. You're supposed to be a nurturer. You are supposed to be someone that's supposed to bear children. That's why you have these things called cycles. Your flower, when blood's coming up out your box, it don't matter how manly you want to be. You still have a cycle every month because you are supposed to be a nurturer. You're supposed to be somebody that's bringing life into the world after a man humbles you and gives you the life to bring in. But you're too busy listening to these leaders. Do y'all know do you know what's going on right now? Anytime you turn on your TV, do you know what you see more than anything? You see the agenda of the oppressor hitting your screens every day. I've never seen so much homosexuality in my life. Of all the years that I've been living, I've never seen so much of it hidden on the screens. It don't matter what you turn on. They have homosexuality in cartoons now. In cartoons. You can't even allow your kids to watch certain stuff because they know for a fact, as long as it's in these cartoons, they can try to train up a child's mind early to, desensitize them to thinking that is okay. And that's not okay. And what should be happening with this cancel culture that everybody want to have, we should cancel the broadcasting of all these things that are against the Most High God, like homosexuality, like eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Do you know on a cooking show, and this is a little off topic, on a cooking show, a man fed people human flesh. He put human flesh in food and had people eat it and didn't let them know that it was human flesh in the food. Do y'all see where the oppressor's mind has taken our people? It's taking our people to the point where you can sit here and cut human flesh, put it in some food, feed it to someone else, and don't let them know. So they're sitting here trusting you to be someone that is giving them something good in nourishment of their body, and you're feeding them human flesh. And you want to know why? Because of our watchmen. Our watchmen, they're not canceling nothing. They're sitting behind and not blowing the horn. They're just watching the society be ruined by the oppressor because they work for the oppressor. And they're just watching and not blowing the horn. But understand this, you shall surely die because you are looking at all the blood shed because of all the judgment that is happening in our communities based off of you not doing what you're supposed to do as a leader. If you was a true leader, you would tell your people stop selling drugs. You would tell your people stop doing the abominable things like pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, feeding each other human flesh. You would tell your people to stop that. You would tell your people, you know what? We'll help you so that way you don't have to rob somebody just because you're hungry. And you know what that would do? That would take the power out of the police hands. That would take the power out of the court system hands. That would take the power out of the government's hand. But y'all don't want to take the power out of their hands because you are not true watchmen. You are okay with us being killed out on the streets because people are trying to do whatever it takes to feed their family because they have nothing. You are okay with that. But here in the I.S.U.P.K, we're not okay with that because we love our people. We show our people true brotherhood and sisterhood. But understand this, these people that aren't real watchmen, they are not going to hide from the Most High God. They will surely die. Brother, go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 8. Thou shalt surely die if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way. That wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Verse 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, and he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast served us but thou hast delivered thy soul.
Understand this, man. If you would sit here and do something called be real, something called not being a coward. If you would sit here and tell someone, you know what, it's not good for you to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. It's not good for you to feed somebody human flesh. It's not good for you to sit here and be a man and you sucking on rod. And it's not good for you to be a woman and you munching on box. It's not good for you to celebrate these pagan holidays. It's not good for you to sit here and kill your brother. It's not good for you to do all these things that the oppressor has told you that is okay, to abuse drugs, to sit here and be the best crack addict you can be. It's not good for you to do that. If you would warn your people, then you would be better off. The blood wouldn't be on your hand, because we can only tell you what to do. If you don't choose to do what we're telling you to do, then hey, I did my job. I was a real watchman. I did my job. I told you it was wrong for you to do that, and you chose to still do it. So now the blood is not on my hands. It's on your hands, because when you know better, you should do better. But see, a lot of y'all are afraid to be that. Y'all are afraid to go against the grain because y'all do not want the backlash. Y'all are afraid of the backlash. There's no reason for you to be afraid of the backlash when you serve the Most High God. And the Most High God didn't give you the spirit of fear. He told you to love your people. He gave you the power of love. And the power of love is for you to show brotherhood, for you to show sisterhood, for you to be a brother to the people that don't have brothers, that don't know the right things to do. To be a true watchman, to be a true leader. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So if you sit here and warn your people, and your people is just like, well, you know what? I hear you, brother. Because there's a lot of people that do that. I hear you. But man, I ain't gonna stop smoking that weed, bro. I hear you. Okay, yeah, you pull the scriptures and everything. You let me know, bro. But hey, man, that weed, man, that weed stay calling me. At that point, you be like, all right, bro. All right, shalom. And you walk off because you did your job. Hey, man, you ain't supposed to be stealing from your own people, man. Hey, man, that money just keep calling me. They pockets just too fat and mine's is thin. All right, bro. Now, when you go to jail, the blood is not on my hands. It's on your hands. When you sit here and get cancer from smoking weed and smoking Black and Mild, smoking cigarettes, smoking them cigars, the blood ain't on my hands. It's on yours, because I've already told you to stop. When you're sitting here getting cancer from eating this pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, which is well-seasoned Pampers with doo-doo in it, and now all of a sudden you got cancer, the blood is not on my hands, because I told you to stop, because the Most High God told me to tell you to stop, and you decided you were going to keep doing it. The blood is not on my hands. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, Con, what you're saying. I had a brother at work, we was talking about unclean food because he was trying to get me to, eat pizza. And I told him about the pepperoni having pork in it.
Right.
So we just, having a conversation about it. And he was like, trying to, poke fun about me being an Israelite and everything. So I asked him, I was like, so you will let a shrimp po' boy sandwich? He's from New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I said, so you'll let a shrimp po' boy sandwich come between you and the Lord? And he said, yep. I was like, Most High Christ. I just walked out. I was like, what I'm saying? I don't even care if he was joking or not. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you can joke about something like that shows that you really don't love the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the craziest thing is, some Christians are going to see this and they're not going to agree to what we're saying. But that's the same thing like Christianity. Y'all sit here in these churches and say that y'all love the Most High God. Y'all sit here. It goes so far that the women sit here and say that the Lord is their husband. Christ is their husband. So you're telling me that Christ is your husband, but you still rather sit here and let all kind of men in and out your box. But I thought Christ is your husband. So you rather have multiple husbands committing adultery all through and through, letting your box be tainted, but you say Christ is your husband? So you rather sit here and let your lustfulness come in between you and the Most High. Because that's what's really going on nowadays. Everybody's lust, like they're letting their lust come in between them and the Most High. So the biggest question is, why die in sin when you can choose to live in the truth? Like that's going to be the biggest question. Why die in sin when you can choose to live in the truth? Like, is it too hard to live in the truth? Maybe it is too hard for some people to live in the truth. And you want to know why it's hard for them? Because they are so used to living a lie. And they want to keep that lie up because it makes them feel good. A lot of people, they got hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars living in sin. Why would I give up millions of dollars in sin to be poor in the truth? That's how a lot of people think. Here in I.S.U.P.K, I'll give up that. I'll give up the millions of dollars in sin to be poor in the truth. Because right now, I might be poor according to the society and the world. But when the Most High God comes back and Christ come back and Judgment Day is really here, see, I want to be great in the kingdom of heaven. I want the kingdoms. I want to have a kingdom. I want to sit here and be a ruler over something. So yeah, I'll be poor in this society. Yep, I shall be poor. Yep, I'm fine with it. Because when the Most High God comes back, I want to be rich with his blessings. That's where I want to be rich at. But the first thing first is you have to be a real watchman. You got to be a real leader. You got to be selfless. You got to sacrifice yourself. Keep reading, brother. Should be in verse 10. You got it, or you don't need me to? All right, no sweat.
Verse 10. Therefore, O son of man, speaking to the house of Israel, thus ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away in them, how should we then live?
That's just like my question. Like, if we sitting here, how can we live with all these transgressions? How can we do all these things, but we sit here and say we love the Lord, but we sitting here transgressing everything? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 11. Say unto them, as I live, saith the Lord God, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways. For while ye die, O house of Israel.
Understand this. It is time for us to turn from the wickedness. It is time for us to sit here and do what we're supposed to do, man, as true watchmen, and warn our people that they are transgressing the Lord. And what we need to do is we need to turn from our wicked ways, teach our people. Stop allowing these so-called religious leaders to teach our people for us, because they're not teaching them. The only thing that they're doing is throwing a rock into a glass building and then hiding their hands and watching all of us have the downfall while they're sitting here fattening their pockets based off of us. Brother, drop that. Go to Isaiah 56 and start at verse 8, if you could, please.
Come. Isaiah chapter 6.
Start at verse 8.
Come. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8.
56.
Oh, it's like.
So right now, we're talking about the watchman. We just found out what a watchman does and what his duty is. And now we're going to talk about some more things that's dealing with the duties of a watchman and what we need to do as a people and what's going on in the society that we live in right now. Go ahead.
Con. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Lord God, which gathered the outcasts of Israel, said, Yet will I gather others to him, beside those that are gathered unto him. Verse 9. All ye beasts of the field come to devour ye. Yea, all the beasts in the forest.
Understand this. The Most High God is doing something right now. He's splitting us up. The Most High God is gathering the outcasts. He's if y'all don't understand what's going on right now, he's dividing us from others right now. He has a division plan going on right now. And see, right now, he has all these beasts of the fields coming and cleaning up everything else. So the Most High God is really and truthfully, he's drawing a line in the sand. He's saying, all right, all you people that really and truthfully believe in me, y'all come over here. Y'all start listening to my law, statutes, and commandments. When y'all hear my law, statutes, and commandments, and y'all hear the true priests and prophets tell you my law, statutes, and commandments, y'all join them. Y'all come to them. But for all the rest of you that's deciding that you don't want to listen, I'm going to let these beasts of the field deal with you. And who are some of the beasts of the fields right now? Go ahead, brother.
Salakia, sir. The oppressors in the other heathen nations.
The oppressors in the other heathen nations. Get that brother a hand, man. Brother, you got some? You about to say the same thing? There's one more beast of the field that y'all didn't say. Y'all said the oppressor. I said all the other heathen nations. Y'all missing one more.
The wicked of Israel?
No. Who are the beasts of the field coming for the house of Israel, for the wicked of Israel that don't want to listen to the Most High God? Wrong.
The Christian church.
Angels sent back to punish the wicked.
Y'all almost come on.
I was finna say demons.
The police.
Right.
That is another beast of the field that's coming for the house of Israel, for the wicked of Israel, under the oppressor's hands.
Right.
Because right there is letting you know, it's saying, all ye beasts of the fields come to devour, yea, all ye beasts in the forest. How are the house of Israel being devoured right now? How are the wicked in the house of Israel being devoured? How are we being devoured right now? Support.
It's like it's made by all the police shootings right now.
All the police shootings. Anybody else got something? You got something?
So like so all these agendas formed against us.
Exactly. The police shootings and all these agendas that's going against us right now, man. Y'all know that it's so easy right now to catch a Black, Hispanic, or a Native Indians with drugs. Do you know it's so easy? Do you know how many people are locked up right now behind drugs? You know how many Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is locked up right now behind doing something dumb and stupid that they were taught from their OGs, that they were taught by their Christian leaders, the religious leaders, the people that are supposed to be the Black leaders in the communities? Do you know how many people are in the jail behind that? But it's because you're deciding to be an outcast. You're deciding to go against what the Most High God is telling you to do. So when you decide to do that, then all of a sudden, the Most High is letting them beasts get to you. And now all of a sudden, you got trouble. It's trouble in paradise now. Now you don't have millions of dollars, but now to bond out, you got to spend $1 million just to bond out. And you still have a court case where you can still go to jail for 30 years. Keep reading, brother.
Come, verse 10. His watchmen are blind.
The watchmen are what?
His watchmen are blind.
The councilmen, the black leader, the religious leaders, the pastors are what?
Are blind.
Keep reading.
Okay. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs.
Understand this. These watchmen that y'all have over y'all right now are blind. They're dumb dogs. They're ignorant.
Right.
Because they don't care about you.
Right.
Man, okay. You know what? If y'all don't believe me, go to verse 11. Go to verse 11 and read what it says right after they call them dumb, ignorant, and dumb dogs.
Come. Verse 11. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
They are what?
They are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
Joel Osteen is a what?
Greedy dog, which can never have enough.
Creflo Dollar
is a greedy dog, which can never have enough.
The religious leaders.
A greedy dog, which can never have enough.
The pastors that pass around the collection plate, the love offering, the peace offering, the building fund that ain't never got no building in it, or what?
They are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
Keep reading.
And they are shepherds that cannot understand.
They are shepherds that do what?
Cannot understand.
Why cannot Joe Salakio? Why can't Joe Osteen understand what's going on with a black man? Because he what? Read it again. He what?
Come. They are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand.
How do the pastors not know what's going on in the community? It's because they are what?
Shepherds that cannot understand.
They are shepherds that don't understand. They don't understand what's going on right now because they're too busy being what? Read from the beginning.
Okay. They are greedy dogs which can never have enough.
They are greedy dogs that can never have enough. These so-called religious leaders, so-called men that you put above everybody else, they can never have enough greed. That's why they're not sitting here really helping you. Because if they were true watchmen, they would not worry about their riches. Right. They will understand the riches don't come right now. The riches come when the Most High God comes back. Right. But because they are shepherds that don't understand, and because they love that almighty dollar, because T.D. Jakes is a greedy dog. Creflo Dollar, before he had all this stuff going on, was a greedy dog.
That's right.
All these Christian church leaders, all these pastors, Joel Osteen that sat here and had, like, he took over a whole basketball arena. Like, where his church is right now used to be a basketball arena. It used to be a big arena. He took over that. And a plumber found money hidden in envelopes behind the restroom wall. That's because he's a greedy dog and he's a shepherd that don't understand.
That's right.
But these are the religious leaders that y'all put above everybody else.
Right.
They are the watchmen that y'all put above everything else. And y'all wonder why we sitting here in hell. Y'all wonder why we sitting here dealing with all the stuff we dealing with. Go ahead, sis. And that's letting you know exactly how greedy they are, man. Y'all get that sister in here, man. Because what she said was spot on. For those that didn't hear what she said these so-called watchmen right now, because they're so greedy and they're like dumb dogs, they'll take all this money from you. And when you need it, they don't have it to give back. They'll tell you to just pray about it. Pray on it. Pray about it. You know, the Lord will give you it if you just ask for it. If you just ask for it and pray, you shall receive. But believe and receive. You know what you should do? I know you need $1,000, but if you would sow a seed of $500, that $1,000 will come back to you tenfold. That's what your religious leaders telling you. That's what your watchmen are telling you. See, and the reason why they're telling y'all that is because they're greedy dogs. And they're shepherds that don't understand anything. Because they don't have to worry about the stuff that we're worrying about, because they have already kissed the behinds of the oppressor. They've already kissed the rings. They have already bowed down to the oppressor. So they don't have the struggles we have, because they have already chosen their side. And I hope they stay that way, because right now y'all don't care about nothing. But when the Most High God comes back and Christ comes back and that fight go on, oh yeah, it's time to pay back all that blood that's on y'all hands. It's time to pay that back in full. All this money that y'all stolen from y'all people, time to pay that back. It's time to pay all that back. Right. And we're going to get ours. And understand this, we'll get ours from the Lord's judgment. The Lord's judgment is what's going to get ours back. Understand that. Vengeance is his. Vengeance is not mine. Vengeance is his. Right. And his vengeance is something more powerful than anybody else can do, man. Right. So go ahead and keep reading. It says, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. What does it say after that?
Come. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain.
For what?
For his gain.
From what? From
his quarter.
From his quarter. Understand this. Every religious leader right now, every black leader, they're looking for their own gain, coming from their own ways and their own quarters. They know exactly what's going to happen. They know. Put it like this. You don't think all these people know what's going on right now in this world and how they're sitting here pushing the agenda of homosexuality? Yeah. You think all these pastors don't know what's going on here? They read the Bible. That's what they keep telling you. They read the Bible. They know the Bible. So they know for a fact homosexuality is wrong. They also know for a fact that pork, crab, shrimp,